Good morning. So today our topic is inheritance. Already in the previous session we discussed about what is inheritance, what are the types of inheritance. So inheritance means, the main advantage of inheritance means reusability. That means one class can be properties can be used in another class. So here we have the different types of inheritance in Java. So we have totally 5 types of inheritance, but in Java we have the 3 inheritance: single, multi-valued and hierarchical. The remaining 2 inheritance are achieved based on the interfaces concepts. So today you will see the first 3 types of inheritance. One is the single inheritance, second one is the multi-level inheritance, and the third one is the hierarchical inheritance. So in the single inheritance, so we have one base class, one derived class. That means the derived class is derived from the single base class. So we can see example for the single inheritance. So when a single class derived from its base class, then this type of inheritance is called as a single inheritance. So in the single inheritance we have one base class. From the base class we can derive one derived class. So already we know the base class is called either the parent class or base class. The derived class is also called as the child class. Here we can take one base class, that is the class teacher. So teacher is a base class. Teacher. Next, in the teacher we are writing a method, that is the teach method. So the teach method display the teaching subjects. Now we are deriving another class from the base class. That for that we can use the class student extends teacher. So using the extends keyword, one class properties can be used in another class. Here the teacher is the base class. The teacher class properties can be used in students class. So student is the derived class. For that we can use a keyword extends. So extends is a keyword. So we can derive students class. So this is, so the teacher class properties can be used in student class. What are the properties of teacher class? The teacher class properties are one method, that is teach method. So the teach method can be used in students class. So we can see again in the student class, the student class is defining another method. So that is the listen method. So the listen method print the listening to subjects. That means the student class has the 2 methods. One method is from the teacher class, another method is its own method. So the student class has the 2 methods. One is the teach method, second one is the listen method. So in this way we can derive one class properties into the another class. So here we can see the main program, that is the class single inheritance. We are writing the main method. So we are creating the object to the derived class. So whenever we create a object for the derived class, so the derived class can access the both methods. So that is the teach method as well as the listen method. So that's why s1.teach. So s1.teach means the student object can access the teach method. Similarly s1.listen. So the s1 object access the listen method. So in this way one class properties can be accessed in another class. So when we call s1.teach, the output is, what is the output for the teach method? Teaching subjects. We got output teaching subjects. Similarly, when we call s1.listen, so it will call the listen method. The listen method output is listening to the teacher. Listening to the teacher. So this is the output for this program. So here the teacher class is the base class and the student class is the derived class. So the teacher class properties can be used in the student class. That means the teacher class properties are teach method, can be used in the student class. So this is the example for the single inheritance. Now we can see second type of inheritance is the multi-level inheritance. So multi-level means we have the different levels. That means a derived class get created from another derived class. So a derived class get created from another derived class. For example, A is the base class. So from the base class we can derive another class, B class. So that means B is derived from the A class. Again, we can derive another class C from the derived class. Here B is the derived class. So that means the C class is derived from the derived class. That is the B class. Again, D class is derived from the C derived class. So in this way, we can create any number of levels of inheritance. That means a derived class is created from another derived class. A derived class is created from the another derived class. So in this way, we can see one example how we can perform multi-level inheritance. So in this example, the base class is the teacher class. The base class is the teacher class. So the teacher class properties are a method, that is the teach method. So now we can derive another class from the teacher, that is the student class. So the student class is derived from the teacher class. So that means the student class can access the teacher properties, that is the teach method. Now in that student class we are writing a whole method of the student class, that is the listen method. So now the student class can access teach method as well as the listen method. Again, we are deriving the another class, home tuition. Home tuition. So this is the home tuition is the derived class. It is derived from the another derived class, that is the student class. So that means home tuition can access student class properties, that is the listen method as well as the teach method. So the home tuition can access teach method, listen method as well as its own method, explains. So in this way, one class properties can be used in another class. Now we can see the output of the teach method is simple, teaching subject. Next, the output of the listen method is listening. Next, the output of the explain method is does homework. Now we can see the main program for this multi-level inheritance. Now we can see we are creating the class, main class, that is the multi-level inheritance. We are writing a method, public static void main string args. Now we are creating a object for the home tuition. So whenever we create the object for the home tuition, the object of the home tuition can access both teacher properties as well as the student properties. That means teach method as well as the listen method. So now h dot explains. H dot explain means the home tuition class object can call its own property, that is the explain. So explain means the output is the does homework. Similarly, h dot teach. H dot teach means it will call the teacher class properties. So that is the teach method. So the teach method output is teaching subject. Similarly, h1 dot listen. So listen is the property of the student class. So here we are accessing the student properties in the home tuition class. So that means h dot listen. The output is listening. So in this way, in the home tuition class, we are accessing teacher class properties as well as the student class properties. In this way, we can create any number of levels. We can create any number of levels. So this is the multi-level inheritance. Now we can see another inheritance, that is the hierarchical inheritance. That means from one single class we can derive any number of derived classes. So that means we have one single class, that is A is the base class. So from the base class we can derive any number of classes, B, C, D. That means B class, C class and D class is derived from the class A. That means the class A properties can be used in the class B, similarly class C and class D. So this is the hierarchical inheritance. Now we can see one example for the hierarchical inheritance. Here we can take one base class, that is the teacher is the base class. The teacher class property is the teach method. So this property can be used in derived classes. So from the base class teacher we can derive different classes. One is the student class. So student class, that means the student class can accessible the teacher class properties, that is the teach method. So that is the teach method. Similarly, in the student we are writing its own method, that is the listen method. So that means the student class properties are two methods. One is the teach method, second one is the listen method. Similarly, we are deriving another class from the teacher, that is the principal. So now the principal class accessible the teacher class properties, that is the teach method. Now we are writing its own method, that is the evaluate method. So that means the principal class can access two methods. One is the teach method, another one is the its own method, evaluate method. So when we create object to the student class, that means the student class accessible these two methods, that is the teach method and listen method. Suppose when we create the principal object, the principal object accessible the two methods. One is the teach method and the one is the its own method, evaluate method. Now we can see the output. So we are creating a class hierarchical and we are writing a main method. Now we are creating the object to the principal class. So that means the principal class accessible two methods. One is the teach method, another one is the evaluate method. So when we try to the principal object try to access the listen method, it is not possible. It will give the error. So see you can example p dot evaluate. So evaluate is the its own method of the principal class. So that means p dot evaluate. The output is the evaluating. Similarly p dot teach. So p dot teach method is the property of the teacher class. So teacher class method properties are accessible into the principal class. So that's why p dot teach so accessible. So we got the output teaching subject. Suppose when we try to access the listen method, so the listen method not accessible to the principal class. So in this case it will produce an error. So this is the output of the evaluating and the teaching subject. Suppose we are creating the object to the student. That means the student object is accessible two methods. One is the teach method, second one is the listen method. So this is the multi-level inheritance. We have another two types of inheritance, but the two types are evaluated from the concept of the interfaces. We can see later in the interfaces section. So this is the three types of the inheritance: single, multi-level and hierarchical inheritance. Now we can see the method overriding. So method overriding. So what is the method overriding? If the same method is defined in both superclass and the subclass, then the method of subclass overrides the method of the superclass. So if we have the same method name in both superclass and as well as the subclass, now the method of the subclass overrides the method of the superclass. So this is called method overriding. Now we can see one example how we can perform the method overriding. So suppose we have a class, bank class. So the bank class property is get rate of interest. This is the method we are writing in bank class. Now we are deriving the two classes, that is the SBI class. Similarly, we are deriving the ICICI class from the bank class. Here we are writing same method name, that is get rate of interest. So that means we are defining same method name. So in this case, the SBI method needs to override the bank method. Similarly, ICICI also same method name, get rate of interest. Now ICICI has the same method name of the base class. So in this case, both super class and the base class have the same method names. That means the derived class, the derived class can override the base class method. So that is called a bank overriding. Now we can see a method, base class get int rate of interest iterated on the 0th value. Similarly, the SBI extends bank, that means SBI class uses the properties of the bank. So you are writing the same method, get rate of interest. So you are overriding the method get rate of interest, that is the return 8. Similarly, ICICI class extends bank, that means ICICI class can use the properties of the bank. Here we are overriding the method, that is the get rate of interest. So we are overriding return 7. So when we create the object for the SBI class, so it will access get rate of interest of the SBI class. The output is 8. Similarly, we are creating the object to the ICICI. So using the ICICI object, we are accessing the get rate of interest. That means it will call the ICICI class get rate of interest. The output is the 7. So in this way, we can perform the method overriding. So method overriding is a concept when both superclass and the base subclass having the same method names. So in this case, we are overriding the method of the subclass. Next we can see the next property, super keyword. So already we discussed the two keywords, different keywords, this keyword, static keyword and the final keyword. So this is the another keyword, the super keyword. So the super keyword purpose is reference is a reference variable which is used to refer the immediate parent class object. So super keyword is a reference variable which is used to refer the immediate parent class object. So the super keyword uses are 3. One is the super keyword can refer immediate parent class instance variable. Super keyword invoke the immediate parent class method. Super keyword invoke the immediate parent class constructor. So we have 3 uses of the super keyword. One is the instance variable, another one is for method, another one is for the constructor. So when we use the super keyword refer immediate parent class instance variable, it will invoke immediate parent class method, and also it will invoke immediate parent class constructor. Now we can see examples how the super keyword can access the immediate parent class instance variable, how it invoke the immediate parent class method. Now we can see the first example, referring the parent class instance variable. Here we are writing a animal. So animal is the parent class. In this we have one property, that is the color variable, instance variable. So that value equal to white. Now we are deriving dog class from the animal class. So dog class is derived from the animal class. The dog class has also its own attribute, that is the color equal to black. So that means both parent class as well as subclass have the same name of having the same name for the data member. So here in this case, suppose we are creating a object for the dog d equal to new dog. So whenever d equal to new dog means it will create the object for the dog. So d dot print color. So d dot print color means we can access the print color of the dog class. So the print color print system dot out dot println color. So it will print the dog class color. Dog class color is the black. Suppose to access the super class variable, we will need to use the super dot color. So when we use the super dot color, it will access the immediate parent class instance variable. So for the dog, immediate parent class is the animal. So the animal color is the white. So it will print the white. So by using the super keyword, we can easily access the immediate class parent variable, instance variable. So this is the how we can refer the immediate parent class variable using the super keyword. Similarly, we can see how the super keyword can be used to invoke the parent class method. So we can see example again, class animal. So we are creating the animal class. It has its method, eat method. So similarly, we are creating a dog class from the animal class. Again we are writing the eat method. So in both parent class, in the subclass, we have the eat method. So that means we are performing the method overriding. So now the dog class has also property of sleep property. So here we are writing another method, work, void work. In this work method, we are calling super.eat. So super.eat means it will call the immediate parent class method. Here the parent log of the parent class is the animal. So in the animal we have a eat method. So super.eat call the immediate parent class method. So that means super.eat. So similarly sleep. Now we are creating a main class. We are writing a main method. Next we are creating a object for the dog d dot work. So d dot work means we can call the work method. In the work method we have the two calls. One is the super.eat. Super.eat means it will call the immediate parent class method. So it will print the eating. So the first one is the eating. Again d dot sleep method. So sleep method is its own method of the dog class. So the output is the sleeping. So we got the sleeping. So using the super keyword, we are accessing parent class method, that is the eat method. So this is the how we can invoke the parent class method using the super keyword. Similarly, we can access the super class constructor using a keyword, that is the super keyword. So that is the example for the how we can access parent class constructor. Here again we are writing a base class super class animal. From the super class we are deriving a dog class. So in the animal class we have the animal constructor. In the dog class we have the dog constructor. In the dog constructor we are calling the super keyword super. So when we use this super method, it will call the immediate class constructor of the parent. So for the dog, the parent is the animal. So it will call the parent class constructor. So the parent class constructor is the animal. So the output is animal is the created. Similarly, you are writing system.out.println dog is created. So we are writing a main method dog d equal to new dog. So whenever dog d equal to new dog, it will call the dog constructor. The dog constructor internally called the super. So super means it will call the immediate parent class constructor. That means the animal constructor. We got the output animal is the created. Next, system.out.println dog is created. We got the dog is created. So using the super method, we are accessing the immediate parent class constructor. So this is the idea about the super keyword. So the super keyword purpose is referring the immediate parent class instance variable, invoking the immediate parent class method, invoking the immediate parent class constructor. So these are the super keyword. Next, we can see the abstraction. What is the abstraction? So abstraction is the process of hiding the implementation details and showing only functionality to the user. So already we discussed in the first unit. So abstraction, what is abstraction? Abstraction is the hiding the implementation details and showing only functionality to the users. So to achieve the abstraction, we have the two ways. One is the abstract class, another one is the interface. So by using the abstract class and interface, we achieve abstraction in Java. So first we can discuss about abstract class here. In the next unit, we discuss about interface. So what is the abstract class? A class which contains abstract keywords in its declaration is called abstract class. For example, consider class name student. So in the class declaration, we are giving a abstract keyword. So abstract class student. That means the student class is the abstract class. So in this way, we can create a abstract class using the keyword abstract keyword. Now, what is the difference between the class and abstract class? The abstract class may or may not contain the abstract methods. That is, methods without body. So in the general class, we are writing a methods with body. But in the abstract class, we can create a abstract methods. So the abstract methods are methods without body. That means there is no implementation in the abstract methods. Where we implement, that means in the base derived classes, we can implement the abstract methods. This is the second property. So if a class at least one abstract method, then the class must be declared as the abstract. That means in a class, when we have at least one abstract method, then compulsory that class is declared as the abstract. Next one, if class is the abstract, it cannot be instantiated. So when we declare a class as the abstract class, it cannot be instantiated. So these are some difference between the class and abstract class. So to declare the abstract class, we can use the abstract keyword. The abstract classes contain abstract methods. That is, methods without body. So if any class has at least one abstract method, then the class is declared as the abstract class. So when we declare a class as abstract class, it cannot be instantiated. So here we can see how we can create a abstract class. This is the syntax. Abstract, this is the keyword to create the abstract class. Class name. So example is abstract class name is the student. So here the student class is the abstract class. So that is about the abstract class. Now we can see what is the example, how we can write a program for the abstract classes. Before going to that one, first you can, what is abstract method? Already I told, what is abstract method? A method without implementation details is called abstract methods. How to write the abstract methods in a class? For that again we can use the abstract keyword. So abstract, void is the return type and the method name. So here semicolon, that means no body. So for example, abstract void listening. Here the listening is a method of type abstract. Here no body for this abstract method. So we can implement the body for this method in derived classes. We can see example, abstract class bike. So that means bike class is the abstract class. So whenever we declare a class as the abstract, that class contain at least one abstract method. So here the abstract method is void run. Run is the abstract method. Here no implementation of the run method. Now here we are extending bike. Hero class extends bike. That means the hero class is the derived class from the bike class. That means the bike class properties can be used in the hero class. So whenever we extend the abstract class, we need to implement the abstract methods in the hero class. Here the abstract method is the run method. Now we are implementing the run method in the hero class. So running safely. So in this way the abstract class methods can be implemented in the derived classes. So now we are writing a main method, hero h equal to new hero. That means we are creating object for the hero class. Now h dot run. H dot run means it will call the run method. So we are overriding the run method. We are implementing the details in the hero class. Now it will print running safely. So this is the abstract class and abstract methods. So the abstract classes are useful for achieving the abstraction concept. So this is the abstraction concept. So today we are discussing inheritance types, and second concept is the super keyword, and the third concept is the abstract classes and abstract methods. So thank you. So next, this is the second unit. So in the next session we can start on the third unit. Okay.